Okay, I think I should be live. Let me know if you can hear me, guys, because I have no idea if I'm actually live. This is very new. Yeah, perfect. Okay, yeah. Hi, everyone, I guess. Perfect. Hello, Trodax. Hello, Technic. Hello, Mexican Pigeons. I'm on Anomalous. And where else do I see? Wolfie is here. Tinisha is here. Do I pronounce your name correctly? I hope so. And literally ketchup. Hello, Tolis. How are you? I'm good. Technic. I'm kind of excited if everything's gonna work out the way it's intended to, but we'll see. Oh, hi, Dolphin. You're here as well. That's good. All right. Yeah, as I announced, I'm planning to work on this today. I basically want to use this picture as like for my stream layout. Gonna put it in the bottom left. Like, yeah, the way you see the whole thing now, my iPad screen will go a little bit further to the right, and then Winnie can go to the bottom left. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm planning to have the background for my stream layout a little bit bluish. That's why I already put some blue behind Winnie, just to know, just to have a reference in terms of color where I have to go. And I have already masked Winnie out because that process is a little bit boring. So I didn't want to do that in stream. So I have basically this on its separate layer, and I also have the sketch on one layer. So thank you, Massimo. Do I pronounce that correctly? I hope so. And hi, that known Ali. It's really hard to catch up with who's joining the stream, who's already been there, and and explaining stuff, and having to paint at the same time. So, but I'll try my best to keep up. How to draw? You are so good at it. Just keep doing it, Technique, and you'll get there eventually. I'm using Procreate, Mexican Pigeon. It's an iPad only app, and I think it really has everything you need. Okay, so I want the sketch to be a little bit less visible, so I'm just gonna turn the brightness up, something like this, I suppose. Then we're gonna start coloring. Yeah, that's the problem technique. If you're a little bit lazy, it might get a while until you get better at it, but you can do it. So I'm gonna get some local color in now. Gonna do this with clipping masks. And yeah, let's just see what works. I didn't really plan this all too well. Let's just see what happens if I do this. So this might be some kind of skin color. I think that's a little bit too saturated. Maybe something like that. Let's just try. We can change that later as well. And I just realized that's probably not what I want to do. Not like this, because it makes the whole coloring process a little bit more difficult. So I'm actually gonna delete that again and only do this manually. Okay, so skin first. Okay, this is not what I want. I want this one. Yeah, sketching on paper is always a good idea because it really makes you think about the lines you put down and not like just mindlessly scribbling your way through it. That's something what I do, gotta admit that, like when I'm working digitally, but yeah, it's not the best way to learn, let's just say that. Okay. Self-aware troll, hi. Yeah, you shouldn't be, dude. I don't know what to respond to that, to be totally honest. So I just won't. Okay. So, uh, uh, um, uh, and I can already tell that the sketch is way too saturated. Like I have it on a multiply layer, but it's not supposed to be this red in the end. Maybe more something like this and this. Okay, so that should work, I think. Okay. Again, this can be a little bit tedious in the beginning, but I'll try to be as fast as I can. So I don't really have to be too careful because the shirt's going to be over here anyway. So I'm just going to do this and this. Yeah, linoleum prints are cool, definitely. They're fun to do. Like not fun to do, fun to see. Really nice quality. Yeah. Hi. Screenplay. I don't know how to pronounce the name, buddy. But yeah, my first stream. Probably more to come, depending on how much I enjoyed today. But I'm pretty sure I will. And I forgot where I wanted to go with this, but seems really stressful to draw. Like it's fine actually at this point. I expected it to be a little bit more stressful. I mean, I have the luxury that we're only like 12 people here, so it's a little bit easier for me to actually catch up with the chat and not having to do too much stuff at the same time. But yeah, it's still a little bit not as easy, let's just say that. Okay, what else do I need? So, we need a color for the hair. And I'm not too sure. Yeah, that's definitely not it. Something like that might work. Maybe it's a little bit too bright, actually. Maybe something like that. Let's just try. Just trial and error. Okay. Because that's really just what it is, just trial and error. Okay. And yeah, feel free to ask any question you might have. I'm gonna try to answer them as good as I can while doing all this other stuff. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that should work, I think. Now I need some color for all of his stuff. Working yourself to the bone, huh? Guess so. Then there was silence. You can still hear me, right? I hope you can. Let me know if you can still hear me. Because if not, I will have to fix something probably. Technic gave me a little bit of a scare there. Oh, wait, that's really bad. Okay, perfect. Because I just noticed that my MacBook, the one I'm using to stream this, just went into into yeah, how would you say it, like battery save mode, right? And I wasn't sure if that interrupts the stream, so I got a little bit concerned. Okay, where were we? Yeah, exactly. I wanted to, what is on this layer? Okay, nothing. I wanted to try to get the color for his head. That is too dark. Maybe something like this might work. Again, it's really just try and error. I might also have to fix colors later when I have more colors on the screen and see them in relation to each other. That also sometimes changes how the colors look like, and that can mean that you have to fix something afterwards. Should probably be able to do this. Yes. Yeah, I actually thought I did catch up, but apparently I did something wrong. But I mean, as long as the stream still continued anyway and there was no interruption, then I guess it's fine. Okay, what do I have to do now? Something. Oh wait, no, that does not work. Okay. Sound insulting, but it's nice to hear a fellow German with a similar. Yeah, that's the nice, amazing German accent, isn't it? Technic, I'm using OBS, and yes, that's all I wanted to say. I'm using OBS. I think, like, as far as I'm aware, that's the best. Wait, I have to check something. What did I want to do here? I guess something like this. Like, as far as I'm aware, that's the best best program to stream. Like, everyone basically uses it, and it's free, right? So I think OBS is the way to go. And I think again oh no, okay. I'm always a little bit paranoid when I see my screen on the left, like from my MacBook, go dark. The music, yeah, that's one thing, technique I actually didn't figure out yet. Like, one, how to record music with OBS, and also I have no idea how I can get music that's like copyright free and that doesn't lead to a strike. So that's something I have to figure out another time, but maybe for the next stream I'll already have figured it out. What amount of layers do you use? Do you use one for everything or multiple for one piece of the drawing? So I usually I do put stuff on like multiple layers, like not only one. And it really, like, I can't really give a general answer. It really just depends on the painting. And but for most of my paintings, I have like 25 layers max that I can use. Like, Procreate doesn't allow me to use more because of the hardware, and I work in quite a high resolution. And very hard to focus on both, like talking and getting painting at the same time, because I want to get some stuff done. But I think it kind of works out so far. Where was I? Yeah, 25 max, and sometimes I have like overlapping elements on a character on separate layers as well. For example, like sometimes I might have the hand and the arm on separate layers compared to the rest. In this case, I plan to put everything on one layer, just because it's faster to paint that way and not having to worry about switching layers all the time and being careful to work on the right layer. Like all these layers right now are just there to make the coloring process, like of the local colors, what we're doing right now, easier. But I will merge all of that down later. Sound from the device. Here's sound from the device. As far as I know, it's been really. Yeah. Again, technique. I will try to figure it out in the next days. Like maybe I will have it available for the next stream. Let's see. For now, you can just. I guess you can just get your own playlist and listen to your own music. And yeah. And I mean, in the end, I guess that's kind of nice anyway, right? To also being able to listen to your own playlist. If you like, in case you, for example, wouldn't like the music I put on, so I guess it's not the worst thing to happen, like hopefully. Okay. So now, can I help you if you want? Yeah, I will definitely come back to you if I have problems figuring it out myself. Thanks, Tech. I mean, in the end, your name does it make it sound like you know what you're doing, so I guess I should probably come back to you. Okay. And now the white shirt. I think I can just do this, right? Yes, I can. Perfect. This, yeah, I think that's good. Okay, now I just have to fix some stuff. Oops, not like this, like this. And also doing this. In this ring, that's some metal, it will be grayish. Okay. Yeah, something like this, and this part also has a little bit of a different color. Maybe something like that. Yeah, that should work. Common annoying question, but what is your favorite part of making a piece? So for me, it's actually the rendering part. Like once I get all the colors down and I can just focus on doing like materials and stuff, because that's just really relaxing to me. I can put some music on and just like obviously I have to focus, but not in the same way I have to focus when I'm drawing or when I'm trying to figure out the mood of a piece and the colors. So yeah, definitely the rendering part. At this point, I really don't like the sketching part just because it takes me like really a lot of time, like longer than it probably should. But yeah, like short answers, the coloring, the rendering stage. It's in north of Germany. It's like West Coast or East Coast. I don't want to get too specific, to be honest, Ketchup, but northern Germany should do it. River calling. Oh yeah, I have no idea about this technology stuff. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Wolfie, I guess we're on the same page about all the technical stuff then. Okay. So gonna do this. Gonna do that. Again, all of this can be very messy at this stage. I'm gonna paint over everything of this, all of this anyway, in the end. So, okay. I think this should work for now. And yeah, let me think, because I'm not totally sure. This is maybe it's not dark enough. Yeah, Wolfie, I've really like I'm posting very not very frequently, and I think YouTube doesn't really like that. And most of my most of my videos are also just these automatically created time lapses from Procreate, and since those are zoomed out all the time, I think people don't really watch it for a long time, just because, especially in the second half of a painting process, I'm really like in the detail zone, and I think in the zoomed out view that Procreate creates in these time lapses, um, you can't really see what's happening, right? And YouTube really likes it when people watch a big chunk of your videos, and I think my videos aren't really made for that. Okay, catch up. Bye. That's okay. Happy to have you here. Okay. I'm just gonna try something. But first, I'm gonna do that. So I want to check if maybe I can, or I should make it a little bit darker, like all of it. Just by maybe something like this, something like that. That's a little bit too much, I would say. Oh, this is how it was before. I think something like this should work a little bit better. Okay, and okay, so if I'm doing these random breaks, that's always me looking at the chat, so don't be confused by it. Okay, yeah, I think this will do. And now, like what I was saying, I would just merge everything down, and now we have all of this on one layer again. And now, coming to the fun part. Oh yeah, Wolfie, I see you really don't, you're really as bad with technical stuff as I am, aren't you? Yeah. Okay, what was I about to do? Ah, yeah, right. I'm gonna add some ambient occlusion now. So, probably something like this, maybe. Again, I'm just gonna try out. I'm gonna use this one, I think. So basically just getting the areas where light would have trouble reaching, like even the ambient light, getting that a little bit darker. Okay, just checking if the stream's still running. Okay, yeah, and again, all of this is like super messy at this stage. This is just for me to have some colors down, to get me started working on this, because right now I don't really have too much down to work on, and this is just a fast approach to get something down that I can build on. Okay. Yeah, the ambient occlusion always starts to give it a little bit of form already, like a bit of three-dimensionality. Like not too much, but at least something. So always a good way to start, just to get some more colors in there. Okay. Now, gonna do that, gonna do this. Here. And yeah, again, everything right now is super messy. It doesn't have to be pretty. And that will come later. Hi, Psych Mandrill. Good to have you here, buddy. So, okay, so this should be it for the ambient occlusion at this stage. Wolf, yeah, I mean, I'm trying. Let's see how it works out when I get to the face, because rendering the face usually, not usually, but a lot of times gives me a lot of trouble, like getting the likeness down and stuff like that. And depending on how much I struggle today, we might get very progress very far with this piece today, or like not at all. So let's see how things will go. Okay, this should be enough for the ambient occlusion. I might try to. I think the color is pretty good. Just to try something out. Can probably push it a little bit further. Something like this. That's very nice of you, very kind of you, Wolfie. Okay. Now I'm gonna. Did I have something on this layer? No, I haven't. Already getting confused with the layers, so that's why I don't use a lot. And again, all of this will be will be merged down as well later. I just want to work on one layer. What did I want to do? Yeah, we should, like, I imagine this scene to be like outdoors, just like with skylight and some sunlight. And I'm gonna put in the skylight now, like some colors for the skylight. And to do that, I'm gonna use an add layer, get a blue-ish color, and then basically paint on the planes that face upwards, because those obviously will get the most exposure to the skylight. So this is way too much. So I might just drop this down. This should be better, I would say. Tell us how to get the idea for your character. Yeah, that's kind of a funny story actually. Like at first he was supposed to be just a character for a single illustration. Like he didn't even have a name, and I just yeah had him in one illustration. Was supposed to be that one, and then I like didn't really have the plan to go back to him. And like after a year, I actually did, like 1 year after I did this first illustration, and now it's just like a good way to just explore different settings and just let him fly around in his airship everywhere, and it's fun. What can I do now? Hey, character Roblox. I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Nice to have you here. So this right now feels a little bit too washed out for my taste. I will probably have to get a little bit bluer with this. So I'm just gonna try again to play with the settings, because this doesn't feel like this is better, I think. Yeah. Maybe I can try to. No, this also doesn't work. Like sometimes it's honestly just better to pick the colors yourself and not mess around with these other settings, with these blending modes. But in this case, I figured it might be faster. Turns out it maybe isn't, just because it takes me a little bit more time right now. I'm gonna try this and make it a little bit brighter. No, this is also not what I want. Okay, let's stay here, and I can fix that stuff later anyway. Screen layer might work. Yeah, I can try that. Usually screen doesn't really light up the, where is it? Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Like screen really pushes the darker colors, like makes them brighter, but doesn't really affect the colors that are already a little bit brighter, and that's why this doesn't really work for this kind of stuff. Screen layers are awesome for atmospheric perspective, but not for this. Budget as much as I can. Yeah, I'm actually trying Technic to give my best. Okay. I'm gonna rearrange my microphone. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of okay. Now I'm imagining the sunlight coming from roundabout here. So if down here would be some grass, it's like yellow grass now, but you get the point. The sunlight would bounce into the grass, and the grass would let all the light bounce back. And that means that all the planes facing into that direction would be lit up a little bit by a mix out of the sunlight and the green grass, so something like this. And again, this is just trial and error, but I want some variation in the oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Go away. Okay, something like this. This is still like way too much. Yeah, this is way too much. We can do something like that. And add in that stuff, working our way up. Okay. Yeah, something like that. And now, yeah, now to the fun part. Now we actually get the sunlight itself. And I'm also gonna do this with a multiply with an add layer for now. Thanks, Wolfie. I'm doing my best. Okay, let's do something like this. And now I want to really hit the, I will make this even brighter. Really want to hit the, and again, this is just like, you really just have to be able to understand all these forms like in a three-dimensional space, so you know like when the sunlight comes from here, to know like what planes would be hit. That's just basically all you need, but it takes a little bit of practice. In this case it's a little bit easier just because it's the rim light, or like just a basic rim light, but still. Do I want to, yeah, maybe it can actually also, there can be a little bit of rim light here, I suppose. And this plane, it would wrap around a little bit. Yeah, you can really use a lot of these digital tricks here. In the end, you still have to understand though, like how all of that stuff works, like not the digital tools themselves, but like how it works in nature, just to know which, what layer mode, for example, what blending mode you have to apply and why, and how all this different stuff works. Okay, this is honestly enough. I'm always trying to duplicate my add layer just to see if I want a little bit more, and in this case I think this is actually kind of fun. Okay, let's do that. Oh no, the chain, the one and only. Okay, yeah, and now I'm gonna do what I already said I would. I'm just gonna merge everything down. And now, yeah, in the end I'm always clipping the sketch layer as well. Then erase some of the lines I don't need anymore. The edges where the sunlight hits especially. And then I am also gonna merge the sketch layer down. And now I have all of this on one layer. And I'm just gonna start painting over it. But first I will try to look at the chat. Could do anything digital. Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, just different tools. Like, in the end, what matters are the fundamentals of art. And if you got those down, you can, in theory, like theoretically, apply them to every tool you use. Of course, it takes a little bit of time to get used to the tools, but what matters are the fundamentals, not really the tool. Okay. Let's work a little bit on the face. I'm very scared because again, that's the part I tend to mess up sometimes. I always do this on a new layer just because of that. I can go back a step and see if what I did has actually been good. Because sometimes it really isn't. And then I can just go a step back without having to erase anything again. Okay. Yeah, something like this. And right here, I'm really just basically drawing over the lines I've already established. That's not what I usually do. I usually start doing that when I'm working on the face, like especially for the eyes, when I have the feeling the shapes of those were already quite okay. On a joke, I watched time when he started doing colors. It was strange for me when you started talking about lighting. I'm not sure if I understand what you mean. Synestia, I use this brush. It's really just, I can show you, really just a very basic brush. It, yeah, does this and that's it. For a lot of paintings, I only use that one. Like really nothing too special. Like you can do what I do with a basic round brush, to be honest. Like the one I have is like has the same behavior as a basic round brush, just with another shape. Okay, let's try now to get some color for the eyes in. And again, this will always look very terrible at the beginning. I can promise you that. And hopefully only in the beginning. Do I have? Yeah, perfect. This is what I just forgot what I always have open when I'm working. It's just to have a reference on how he is supposed to look like. Okay. rendering. Yeah, this isn't even really the rendering stage, to be honest, Initia. That one is just started. We'll get there. Gonna get some basic colors in. And again, just really just to get me started. That's the whole purpose of this. Um, yeah, like Karatel, Roblox, Karatel. Technically, I did just start rendering, but this is all we've rendered so far, and this is not really like not really hasn't really progressed too far at this point. So I'm not sure if we can already call that rendering, but like the stage of finding the colors overall is done. That's correct. Yeah. Mm. Okay. Um, like this one, and this isn't the entire picture. That one took 50 hours. I think the one this is part of is also around that time span. This one took me like 20, I think. Like it really depends on how the complex the background is and on how long I have to work on the face, like how much I mess it up or not. But yeah, it takes quite some time. Yeah, it really it's does take quite some time. Um, like again, not for the part that's been displayed in this referent. Oh, this is not what I intended to do. Let's go back. I want to stay in this picture, not render multiple ones right now. Okay, get something down for the eyes. I am also gonna try to define the planes a little bit more. This can get a little bit more like this. And all of this needs to get significantly darker. This is not saturated enough. Don't draw for that long. Yeah, I mean you can still create good art in less time, but you can probably not create art that is this detailed in a short amount of time. Like you can when you have more experience. Like I'm also not like not doing art for like 10 years, right? So I'm also like kind of slow to be honest, but it's okay. Just gonna get something in here. This is too bright. Something like that will do. Okay, I'm not talking too much right now, I'm sorry, but I really need to find a way to really define these shapes. This is always a little bit of a struggle, not gonna lie. But yeah, this is really just how the process looks like. Like it doesn't look good for a long time, but at some point it starts to do so. Hi, Underminer. Underminer. Good to have you here, buddy. Mm. Mm. This is too much. And this is too much. And yeah, this is the stage that I'm not enjoying too much, to be honest. Like I really like because I still need to find some colors here, and I really enjoy the stage where that's already figured out and I can just do the actual rendering to right. I probably won't finish this sitting Tunisia just because yeah, I'm gonna stream like max 2.5 hours, probably not that long. Kind of depends on how things go and how if I get exhausted at some point or not. And I think this might take too long to do so. Like again, maybe I can't make promises yet. But I really don't think so in the end. It really just kind of depends on how fast how things with the face work out. Because right now that doesn't look like much, but that's always the case in the beginning. So that is totally okay. Yeah, I usually only use this one brush, yeah. That's correct. Like people always say that the brush doesn't really matter, and honestly that is true. Like there are artists who only use the round brush and do paintings that are so good. Brush really doesn't matter at all. Okay. Yeah, that's correct, Wolfie. Again, what matters are the art fundamentals, and I'm not at all saying that I'm a master of those, but like that's what matters to create a good picture, and the tools are really don't really matter. Like if there's a reason that every artist out there you ask like what brush do you use, everyone would say like brush doesn't matter, and that's like there's a reason why everyone says that. Okay, I'm gonna do something very risky in a second, or like not risky but very scary. I'm gonna turn off the layer of what we've been doing so far, and I will realize that everything I've done so far made it worse and not better. Let's see in a second. I'm always scared of that, because sometimes, again, it isn't supposed to look good at this stage, like it can't, but at least I would like to see that what I did isn't totally horrible, and sometimes you just don't see that because you're so tunnel visioned on what you're doing currently that you don't even realize anymore. How old is Winston? Winston is supposed to be like between 9 and 10 years old, I think. Yeah, between 9 and 10 years old. Okay, the eyes are really where I want them to be right now. And eyes never really do look good before you add some shine, but still. I have to zoom in here again, by the way. Yeah, eyes can really be creepy. That's exactly like one of the big problems I'm always facing, because sometimes they get very creepy and I don't even understand why, but that's always very discouraging. And again, eyes especially tend to look a little bit strange when there's no highlights yet. I don't even know why, if I'm honest, but that's just something I've noticed. Okay. So yeah, I hope it does, Tanisha. I'm gonna check what I've done so far. Moment, wait. Okay, so okay, this isn't too bad, to be honest. I was afraid it might be worse. Like it goes into the in the right direction. I can't even talk anymore. Creepy things don't become normal, just like the comic, I don't know. Yeah, the problem is also like with my style, it's like the proportions are like super stylized, but the rendering is a little bit more realistic, I guess. And that can look very strange when you're doing it wrong. And I tend to do it wrong in the first stages of an illustration. So let's just see how things go. Stress too much about it. Like I've done enough of these that I know, or to know that eventually it's gonna work out. Sometimes it will just, like I think like there's someone of the artists I really like said that, but I don't remember right now who it was. But someone said like every painting has to go through a very ugly phase, which I'm improving right now. But that's totally okay. That's just part of the process. I want to go even more saturated with this. Okay. And then it's too much. Okay. Yeah, he will look more real, Tinashe, but I appreciate it. But at this point, it's still very much, his eyes start to glow a little bit. The skin is way too like lifeless right now, like way too desaturated, but we'll get there. I'm probably just gonna add some highlights so the eyes are not as creepy anymore. Something like this should do, maybe a little bit darker. Maybe a little bit more actually. Bye Wolfie, happy that I had you here, and I hope you had fun. Okay, this already looks a little bit more like a human being, so that's good. Yeah, you too, Wolfie. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. Thanks, Anna Miner. I appreciate it. Kind of zooming in and out all the time just to make sure everything kind of works. I will probably try to get a little bit more life in the skin. What I'm gonna do is use a curve layer on all of this and make it a little bit more like that. And now the rest is a little bit too saturated, but we can do this and clip it. And now we have the like more saturated version, the warmer version in the bottom. Then the original one is a clipping mask, and now we can just erase parts of the upper one, and then we get a little bit more color in here. That makes sense. Hope it does. This is actually a little bit too yellow now. I realize, so I'm gonna tone that down in a second. Yeah, way too yellow. That's to be expected. Yeah, no, this does not work right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back into the other layer and do something like this. And now I think it's better. Okay, now we just really have to get some color in here. Get more in blue colors. Like when you, this is too much, by the way. I just noticed. Wait, give me a second. I wanna see what I did. Just gonna go back. Okay, no, the new one is actually better. That's nice. Yeah, that's better. In this curves layer, you always have to think in like complementary colors. That means when you do this, then you get more red, right? And complementary of red is more like green. That means when you if you like go in the opposite direction, basically, then you get more greens, and same is true for blue. This way it gets more blue, and this one it gets more yellow. And because the version I just had was too yellow in my, like, how it felt to me, I added blue, which subtracted yellow, if that makes sense. Okay, yeah, wonderful. Okay, and now I really have to find a color to get the ambient occlusion right here, like in these areas. I think something like that should do, honestly. Maybe a bit red, but at the same time we want to get some color in here. Yeah, I think that works. And also, okay, this is probably too red. No, it's okay actually. Use this thing, but I'm mostly using it to change colors of shadows or etc. Yeah, I mean, you can use it for a lot of things, but it definitely works well for that kind of stuff too. Okay, this is like way too red. I'm gonna use this color again. I think now I've kind of find a good shadow version of the skin color. Yeah. Starting to get somewhere at least, so that's nice. But this will still take quite some time. Like you're gonna see, like on the other areas of the character, all of this will be way faster. But the face is really a struggle every time. Okay, yeah. Gonna define the shape of the head a little bit more. Probably something like that. Something about this is bothering me, and I'm not totally sure what it is. No, I'm not, but that's okay for now. Okay, I should start working on the other facial features. Yeah, like clothes and body, you can't do like with the face. The problem is if you choose the wrong colors, it can look very dead. Like the skin can look very dead, and that's not the case with like clothes. Like it's not a problem if the clothes look dead because they are basically so. But with faces, that's something different. Okay. What I should probably try now is to get some more highlights in here. Just to define the form. That's too much. Just going with it. At some point it will look good. That's always how it goes. I hope we'll be getting to the phase, to the stage where it looks good today. That would be nice. Let's see how things go. Well, that's fine, Technic. Hope you get better soon, mate. Okay. Something like this can actually be a little bit more saturated. Okay. This is too gray. Something like that. Howdy, also Marty. Welcome to my stream, buddy. So I like to draw because in small things. Yeah, that's true, Underminer. Okay. I want to get some warmth in here. So I might just do that. Okay, I think this part I need to change a little bit. No, wait, that's not what I should do. Oh no, wait. I should do this on another layer in case I mess everything up. Because right now I'm really trying to get the likeness down because the face doesn't look quite right at this point. Okay. It's like very reddish. But I guess... Let's actually work a little bit on this, just to get a break from the face. Doing some stuff here. And here. Could also work a little bit on the goggles. Those are always fun to paint. Do you want me to work on the goggles? Let me know. Okay. I think this is too much, but I will just keep it like this for now. And then do this. A little bit modifiement there. These can still be way redder. Okay, not this red. Oh no, what did I do? This is also always a good opportunity to just get a little bit of warmth into the skin. And again, this still, something's off with the likeness, like it doesn't look quite right. Compare him to the left, but I'm not entirely sure why at this point, but I will figure it out later. I think the nose is too... Let me try something. Okay, this is okay for now. This is too... Okay, I'm gonna merge that down again. Oh, you have to... Okay, that's totally okay, Tanisha. Have a good one. Thanks for being here. I think the problem is the nose, actually. I think it's too far down. Yeah, definitely. That's one of the things. Like, honestly, I think the whole face is too... How would you say it? Not squished enough at the bottom. Let me try something. The best friend of every digital artist, the transform tool, not this big. That's really like, honestly, I could, if I had to decide like what's like for one digital tool that I'm still allowed to use and only that one, it would always be transform tool, just because you can fix so much stuff afterwards. Like I think this already looks better. Gonna check in a few seconds. Okay, so this is after, this is before. Yeah, this is definitely better. Like if you compare to the left, right, this is more, the proportions are definitely more on point, and probably I could also, that we're on the transform tool, I could also fix this because the eyes feel a little bit too far apart for my liking. Yeah, this is better. Yeah, this is definitely better. I just should have done that from the get-go. So flipping the canvas, and that didn't give me a heart attack. That's also a very good sign. This is actually a very good sign. This is usually when I flip the canvas for the first time while I'm working on the face, I get very sad. But in this case, it's okay. Okay. Something's still off though. I think the shape of this eye isn't quite how it's supposed to be, comparing it to the other one on the right. So far it's good. Yeah, thanks. Hello Marty. Like it's not as bad as I thought it might be. Like in terms of getting the face correct. This could have gone worse. Like we're getting, like the direction is right, I think. Or is correct, I should say. I'm just gonna transform again. I love this tool so much. Okay, I'm on the wrong layer, obviously. This is better. No, stand there when you're doing art 50 hours. Yeah, take some time to do that stand. One mistake that he didn't notice. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You can always go back and fix stuff again, right? Like with digital art. That's not possible with traditional art, obviously, but with traditional it is. I mean, with traditional traditional art, you just have to plan very well in advance. And in digital art, you kind of able to explore the picture while doing the picture, as I'm doing now. Okay, yeah, we are getting somewhere. That's good. Yeah, I'm always doing a lot of saves when I do these very long illustrations, because everything else would be very, very scary. And I don't like scary, not in this context. So this is, by the way, a case where the screen layer works quite well, just to give this kind of. And again, you can handpick all of those, or just use a bright blue color and brush over this. In this case, I didn't, just because I wanted to preserve the this very bright highlight. But it's basically the same thing, to be honest. Okay, is it better with it? This might actually be a little bit too much. Yeah, that's better. For some reason in digital art it's more difficult to do something again. I don't know why. Yeah, it's probably just because you're not really used to the tools, I guess. That might be it. It's definitely easier to pick up a pencil and draw in a sketchbook or something like that, right? But pieces in a sketchbook would usually not take like 50 hours, so it's not really a problem there when you have to in retrospective fix something. But with these, it can be a problem. So yeah, this is getting somewhere at least. So that's good. I want to try to, like, these planes would face a little bit upwards, just a little bit, and that's why the skylight would have an easier time to reach it. This might already be too much though. I think it's okay actually, now that I'm seeing it like this. Maybe it would look better if I were to lighten the planes of the nose up from the bottom as well. Just trying things out. Okay. Let's try something like this. And now. And again, this is still not quite right. Like this has to be, has to move a little bit up. Yeah, that's better. And now I'm just gonna again push this up a little bit, just a little bit this time though. Yeah. Maybe that's even too much. Yeah, I think it was better before. Okay. Yeah, the digital tools are really amazing, aren't they? Okay. Mm, mm. Okay, okay. Something like this. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, again, you notice I really have to focus on this point. Can't talk too much because everything might go wrong if I don't. I mean, it is really moving into the right direction at least. That's something I can say. So that's really nice. So this just looks too green, I think. Would also probably not hit the face this hard. Mm. Doing a lot of zoom in and zoom out. I'm sorry. I know that's probably a little bit annoying to watch, but have to do it for now. Just to make sure big picture works as well. Okay. Can I just do this? Do that? Yes, I can. That's good. No, this is too much, too dark. Something like this maybe. Okay, how long have I been streaming, by the way? 1.5 hour. Okay. Because I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do next. Because I do really want to not work only on the face right now. Because I also wanna have the feeling that I get some pretty stuff done. So I'm probably gonna work on the goggles actually in a second. Because those are always fun to render. And I know what to do with those. Okay, yeah. Okay. A little bit more red. A little bit more saturated. That is too saturated. Hmm. Okay. And now I'm gonna do this and then just again add some red to the face. This is too... Wait, what did I do wrong? Oh yeah, right. So basically adding more red and adding a little bit more purple by getting rid of some greens. And then I can do this, and this is obviously way too purple, but I can fix that in a second. Just getting these a little bit more reddish, and also this area. And immediately it starts to look a little bit more alive, doesn't it? And again, the whole thing is kind of too red right now. It doesn't have a lot, like not enough contrast, I feel, but that's always something we can add a little bit later. And after, yeah, I think this is fine. We're also gonna do something like this. Getting a little bit more darker here, a little bit more darker here. Also more saturated. I really need to get some saturation in here because it's really lacking that right now. That makes the skin look a little bit dull. But it's okay. We're gonna go a little bit... not this. A bit more red even in the planes facing down. Which are these ones? Okay. Yeah, we're slowly getting somewhere. I do remember rendering this picture. It looked similar actually, like in terms of color in the beginning, like also a little bit dull. And that's just something we're gonna fix while we're working on it. Also the hair, I think the hair is a little bit too desaturated. So I'm gonna get a multiply layer, some warm color, and then see, just see what happens if I, whoop, that's not what I wanted to do. If I do this, and this is way too dark, but I'm just gonna go with it for now. Just gonna paint over this. Or maybe it isn't even too dark. I think this is okay. No, it is okay, but I will fix that in a second. Yeah, it is a little bit too dark. Okay, so we're just gonna decrease the... Actually, I think it is okay this way. I'm just gonna go with it. Wish I could get some lighting on the hair. Because I also want to get a little bit more rim light in this part. Like if I have rim light here, then I also have to have some here, to be honest. Like wrapping, just slightly wrapping around here. And then let's try something. If we do this, I think, yeah, just to give us a little bit of rim. Like this is not accurate at all. That's not where the light would actually reach, but I think it looks kind of good. Like it does make sense. Like this part would be blocked by the helmet, but or not helmet, by the hat. But I'm gonna go with it anyway. Something like this. It looks not very much glowy. And again, these colors were handpicked, right? And it has a similar effect as this other stuff. So that's just what I mean. You don't really have to use the digital tools, but they can make stuff a little bit faster because you only take one color and apply it instead of me having to apply different colors. So something like this. Now there's a little bit more variation at that part. And now work on this a little bit. It feels a little bit too washed out right now. Maybe too. I'm gonna do this. I think that's the problem. It's not. It has to be a little bit redder here. Yeah. And yeah, you can see this is honestly just trial and error, but not really, yeah, too special about the process, I guess. It's really just picking a color and apply it with a brush that doesn't really do anything particularly exciting. So this is just something you can do. Okay. Yeah, I'm slowly trying to like where this is going. So that's nice. I want to have these a little bit more, need these more reddish. Hi, Allison, right? Did I pronounce that correctly? I'm asking this like with every name I pronounce. I hope I did. Howdy. Nice to have you here. Mm. And thank you, Allison. He's a sweetheart. But that doesn't mean that he has to get this dark. Yeah, maybe something like that. I have the feeling I'm always saying like something like that, but that's just really just how this goes. Like it's really just trial and error. That's all I'm doing right now. And that gets a little bit better once I get to like the other parts. But the face is really always takes me way longer than it should. Let's just say that. I do want to add some strains here. This does look a little bit boring. Maybe something like that. Can still fix that later. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna do the goggles now because I've been streaming for 1.5 hours. I'm planning to I'm probably gonna make it 2 hours today, like 25, 30 minutes from now on, more like 30 minutes more. And I think I could definitely do the goggles in that time. So let's just do that. I think it's kind of fun to watch, and it's definitely fun to paint. Oh, and just to emphasize something, I have a lot of brushes here, but that doesn't mean I use all of them. I usually use one, and that doesn't mean that the one I'm using can't change, but I'm still mostly using that one for the whole painting. Like it might be, let me show you, might be this one, right? The one I'm working with right now, but I've also used this one for an entire painting. Really just a round brush with some ragged edges. And this one is fun too. This one does something like this. Also use that one for an entire painting. So it's really, you can use so much stuff. But I recommend not using too many brushes because you don't want to waste all your time to like just scrolling through a brush menu and yeah, just having like 50% of your whole process being just choosing a new brush. Where's the here? Okay. because this is really where I do use just something like that to mask those shapes out a little bit easier. Probably this big, a bit smaller. Okay, now I can just do this. This is not small enough. This maybe? No. Maybe this. I think that should work. Maybe a little bit to the left. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. It's not. This is what I wanted. Yeah, that's nice, Alison. I hope you can like get a grasp of what I'm saying. And if not, you can at least watch me do some stuff here. Fading miserably at the face. Everyone's gonna know I'm a fraud. Oh no, that's not good. Okay, the perspective doesn't look right yet to me. No. Something like this. And now it's too... Yeah, that also doesn't really work. It's too big now. This should be good if I turn it. Oh, now I notice there is still something off with the face, like the eyes are... This one is way too big compared to this one. But again, I won't deal with that now. I deal with that right now. I'm gonna do that later. Okay. Right. Now I'm gonna do... Actually not this. First I'm gonna find some more colors. Like the secret to make something look shiny, like from what I can tell, is really just to have a high contrast between the darker and the lighter colors. And so I'm darkening some parts of this down for now. Something like this, and maybe this part would get a little bit more blue and a little bit brighter. And still need some space later on for the highlights. Maybe the green, yellow-ish bounce light would influence this part. Maybe something like that. And now I'm gonna... Where do I have a good... This is very pixelated right now, and I'm not sure why. Usually that doesn't happen with this reference thingy, but oh well. And I realize now that like the middle parts of the goggles are a little bit too big, like this round part in the middle, and I'm not quite sure how to fix that in a fast way. But if I do this, oh yeah, this actually works. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that should be okay. That's better, yeah. Okay. And now let's get the pattern down. Actually, I'm gonna put a little bit of Gaussian blur first because the edges are very, very pronounced, like very, very hard right now, and I don't want that. That's better. And now to the pattern. Okay. Okay, first we have this round pattern on the outsides. Yeah, it is, but it's fun to paint. I think we're gonna be able to finish these before the stream ends. Pretty sure. So you can see me like doing the full process of rendering this kind of material. Might be fun. Like it's definitely fun to paint. Like again, always nice. Okay. Okay, that's for one. Okay, and now I always use a reference to get the same pattern on every time, but I don't really care about it looking like 100% the same. Doesn't really matter in the end. I'm just gonna go for some fun stuff. And it should work. And again, the reference function in Procreate right now, it's very, very, very pixelated, and I have no idea why. But I guess I can't change it for now. Better and no, still pixelated. That is very annoying. Because usually I can see the pattern a little bit better, but again, it doesn't really matter anyway. It being the exact same every time. Like it would be logical, obviously, because the goggles don't change, right? But it's still okay. This doesn't look good. Let's just do this maybe, and then something like this. And with this pattern, I'm always cheating a little bit. I'm just gonna copy that and apply it to the other one as well. I'm gonna do all the highlights and stuff like individually, but this pattern, there's not really a reason to draw that again. Just have to apply it in the right perspective, which can be a little bit finicky. But should be fine. Or maybe not. Okay, something like this. Yeah, that's okay. In the face, really, I think it just lacks contrast looking at it. But sometimes you only see this when you have some other colors to refer to. Because now I have these darker colors here, right? And compared to that, the shadows of the face are way too bright. That's the main problem why it looks so dull. But that's not, not dealing with that today. We're just gonna do this. And now I wanna check if Like I feel like these are a little bit too not warm enough actually. Something about it feels off to me. I'm gonna try. This is this looks kind of right-ish to me. Yeah, this is better. And now I realize that we have to get this part even darker. Let me just pick this color, brush over it a little bit. Yeah. Something like this should be fine, really. And then we are gonna get a bright highlight color and go over this. And that's when stuff will start to look shiny. Basically hitting, like imagining all of this again in a three-dimensional space and hitting the edges that face up where the skylight might hit them. Or not hit them, that's not true, but where they would reflect the skylight, that's a better way to say it. Okay. Again, these reflections are just what I love to paint. Very relaxing thing to do. And now we're getting somewhere. Skeleton. Oh, I think I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. But that's definitely not intended. But I see where you're coming from. Yeah. Megalovania starting to play. Songs, a lot of fun. Really didn't mind to try that fight again and again just because the music is so good. Even though I learned it's kind of a meme song at this point, but it doesn't change that it's really cool. And yeah, and trying to get some variation in here in the with the highlights, like not doing just this, right? And some straight lines. This also kind of works from a distance, but I think it's better to have it a little bit like broken up. Yeah, that character is my character. It's not from a game or TV show or anything. That's a character I designed. Yeah, exactly. It's Marty. It is. Not it's Marty, also Marty. I'm sorry. yeah, again, we're getting somewhere. I'm saying that all the time, but it is true, I think, and I'm very happy about that. Not with the face, looking at it now, but at least the goggles start to look like something. Kind of sad that they are kind of progressed already and the face isn't. But it's okay. Just gonna have to tell myself that it's okay. Thank you, Alison. Mm. Okay. But again, overall, there's honestly not too much to say about this rendering stage. Like, really just getting highlights on the edges to make it look a little bit more real, I suppose. And it's really just a little bit of work, but nothing too... You don't really have to think too much doing that. And that's honestly just what I what I like about this part of the process. It's really just meditating. That's also probably why I'm not talking that much right now. But I am looking at the chat, but I guess you guys also kind of just relax and watch me doing these highlights right now, which is totally fine. Okay. Okay, and now I think what I want to do is also get a green color and also get some, yeah, greener highlights in, just because the sunlight hitting the ground, we don't see the ground, but it's there, would probably also reflect some like the metal would also reflect some of that light, of that color, especially in the areas facing this way. So I'm just gonna paint over the blue highlights I'm having here, just to get a little bit of variation in. We're also gonna, like right now, the metal is very, very clean, I guess. And we're also gonna change that in a second, because I want it to look a little bit worn out, if that makes sense. And right now that's not really the case. Okay, something like this will do. And it's kind of funny, like the goggles are already rendered quite, yeah, how would I say it? Like has been some rendering going on, right? And the rest is just so, yeah, nothing there really. But it's okay. At least we have the goggles done already. When we end the stream for today. Okay, that's about the highlights. No, I'm actually gonna do some very bright highlights as well, but just on a few parts, like where there are really hard edges on the surface. Like that's the thing, you don't want to overdo that, otherwise it's looks a little bit, yeah, a little bit too much. I think at this point it's still okay, but don't do too much with this. Some Yeah. Probably already keep it this way, to be honest, because I think this is enough. Like again, in the end, he will be like, yeah, just look at your screen and imagining him like around, like round about half the height of the screen. So I guess that there's not really like this is way too much already, but I'm having too much fun rendering this kind of materials. Um, we're gonna do now underneath. Actually, first I'm gonna try something. If I reduce this a little bit, yeah, this is good. And then do this, do this, do this, do this. This looks more realistic. And now, like I basically I just reduced the opacity of the pattern, and now I still do want to have like some parts of the pattern, like in the darker parts, to be a little bit darker as well. That's just why I copied the layer. Now I have the mask on it, layer mask. I can paint a little bit of that darkness back in here. So that's nice and convenient. Oh, that looks good. And now I am gonna, and this is like one of the parts now where I actually do change brushes, just to get some texture in there. So this is a brush I really love to use. It basically does something like this. It's kind of, I don't know, it's a really fun texture. But again, these kind of things are only used for like small parts of the painting. Like this is not really, you can achieve the exact same style without it. That's what I'm trying to say. Using let's try an overlay layer and then just get some stuff in here. This is too bright. This is not, I want this to be a little bit more saturated. Like this, and then also some greens, really not this saturated. And also some purples. This is really just where I put slap some random colors on, just to get a little, yeah, of this. Like it feels like way more worn out to me right now. Like compare this to this, right? This is a little bit more, I don't know, looks better to me. Oh, thank you, Alison. I'm glad to hear that you like my voice. My voice is a little bit soothing right now. Um, happy to help. It's always funny, like obviously when you listen to your own voice, it always sounds a little bit iffy, right? But I do appreciate it. Now I'm gonna erase some. This is too much. Some. Where am I? A little bit of that stuff out again. And what I might also try is to copy this, and now it looks way too much again. Maybe in an overlay layer. And then choose this layer and delete this one. And now there are some edges left. This is really like a little bit technical, and you don't really, it's not important to understand all of this, but hey Henrike, nice to have you here. Thank you very much. Yeah, right now it's a little bit like, yeah, unrefined, right? There hasn't been happening too much at this point. Like considering this is like about 2 hours, this is really not a lot, but that's just how it is. I work kind of slowly. Yeah, I want to do this. And now in the last step, I might just get some color like this, and I want to have another overlay and glaze some of this canvas texture. That might be fun. Let's try. Okay, this is not... Okay, this is... Do I like this? Gives it some worn-out look, I guess. I think this is kind of where I wanted to go. Yeah, I think this is good. Just checking it without, and it doesn't make a huge difference, but it does make a little bit of a difference, so that's nice. And I also want to get a... Shouldn't do this like this. I'm gonna merge this down now, and do I merge this down as well? I'm not quite sure. Do I need this for something? I don't think so. I will merge this down as well. Now get some... Like some shadows are not quite like of this pattern, it's not quite dark enough, so I'm just gonna try this. Add a little bit of something at some areas. I'm just gonna stay in the zoomed out view because otherwise I'm just gonna go into too much detail again. And I mean I already have, like it's too late, but it is okay. I have fun doing these way too like compare this to this. It's kind of funny. But especially considering that I did this part in like 20 or 25 minutes, I think, and the face on like the other hour. And oh, wait, no, that's actually not true. We also did the like first coloring and base color and all that stuff. So I guess it's not as bad as I thought it would be. But still, I hoped I would be a little bit further progressed at this point. Okay, this is good. And now I'm actually just gonna... oh wait, I have to... There are a few new messages. It's very beautiful. I already said thank you. The metal part is starting to look more realistic. Yeah, I'm happy with the metal now. I thought you were a girl. Oh, yeah, that's fun. But no, I'm actually not. But no trouble. Okay. I'm not gonna do it like this. I'm just gonna get some bluish color. Just carefully glaze over this part. Yeah. I'm sorry, but it's so funny, like the goggles compared to the face. Always cracks me up when I zoom out. Okay, do I want to, like we could again act as if some sunlight gets reflected or even hits this part, and that doesn't make sense. Again, like it wouldn't happen like this, but I want to try what happens if I act like this is the case. Okay, no, this is not good. I shouldn't do that. Maybe like this actually. Let's do this. That looks fun. It is still like unrealistic, like this part wouldn't be hit, but I will still pretend it does. Yeah. No, it is too much, I think. That just doesn't look right. Maybe on this side, actually. Let's try that. No, I'm not a full-time artist. I'm a free time only artist. Okay, I have to get some of the warmth or like the darker parts back into these parts right here. Just a little bit. It's too blown out now, and we don't want that. Also in these areas, honestly. Like the pattern is not really. And you see, that's kind of the problem. Like I overdid all these textures a lot, and it led to the pattern itself not being visible anymore. Or like it is still visible, but it's not really prominent anymore. Like the texture bled into the pattern itself, and that doesn't really make sense, and it makes it look a little bit wrong. So I'm just gonna get some definition back in there. Someone that YouTube doesn't let me say this. This exactly resembles Winnie. I mean, might be the case. I don't know. There are a lot of humans out there. Are you studying? I'm still at university, but I don't want to go into too much detail. Like, I don't want to talk too much about private stuff, right? It's the internet after all. But I'm still at university. That's what's important, I guess. Um, 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 um. Okay, now they look about right to me. And what I'm gonna do now, maybe in the last thing I'm gonna do for today, looking at the clock. Oh wait, do you spend a long time searching for a reference? It kind of depends on what I'm going for. I wouldn't say like I probably never spend a lot of time, no. Some paintings I actually just don't. Oh wait, what have I done? Oh, it's right. Don't use reference at all. Like again, it really depends. For example, um, like I've done a lot of these like blue darker scenes with some like warm light source, and I don't really use reference for those anymore, like for the lighting scenario. But depending on, yeah, it really it just varies from painting to painting. If there is stuff or like a lot of stuff in the painting that I haven't really done before, then I will look for a lot of reference, but still I won't take like too much time or spend too much time on it. And that's by the way, that's not really a good thing. Look, like using reference is very important. I'm not the best one to ask um, about that, I guess. Um, okay. Which Winnie? I don't understand about. Oh, that's really not a problem. If you're new here, Winnie is the name of this character. Like his name is Winston, and for short we call him Winnie. Don't don't worry. So getting some glass into the goggles. That's the point in the end, right? Yeah, no, you get it right. Yeah. I mean, again, it's not really. Don't worry about it. Mm, Okay. Now getting some some... Oh wait, am I still live? Yeah, okay. Something looked strange about my screen. My stream loved your art for a while now. It's an amazing source of reference when working with shading of lighting. Oh, that's nice to hear. Thanks. Glad I can help a little bit with that. Um, okay. Let's do this. Honestly, by the way, it's I can't recommend doing what I'm doing right now, like basically finishing one part of the painting and having the other part being this, right? Um, just because again, colors are always relative. So what I'm doing right now, or I should say what I'm doing later, might make or might cause these colors I'm putting down right now to look totally wrong. So don't do that. Don't do what I do. This is not a good idea. But it just leads to more work later on. But I'm just having too much fun with the goggles, and also the goggles are something I feel comfortable with. So it's okay, Alison. I might actually end the stream soon anyway. Yeah, I'm at 2 hours and 11 minutes right now, and I was planning to do something between 1 hour and 2.5 hours. So I guess I'm kind of where I want it to be. I will just finish the goggles right now, and then I'll probably end it anyway. But thanks for hanging out, Edison. Just checking the favorite artists. My favorite artists are definitely like Marco Bucci is amazing. I don't know if you know him. He has a YouTube channel, and I really learned a lot from him when I started out. And same goes for Angry Miko, also on YouTube. Amazing artists and very cute art, and very, very amazing human being, to be honest. Highly recommend those two. And also I do like I think I am pretty much or a lot like influenced by some of the artists or the style of the artists working for like Riot Games. Like I don't play the games, but I really do like the art. And one of them in particular is Dao Li is one artist that I really I think I learned a lot about like his process inspired a lot of how my process works as well. And also this brush, by the way, I'm using right now is also more or less a replica really of one of his brushes. Like I like the way his brush behaved, and I just tried to replicate it basically, like in terms of the shape and everything. So those are probably the ones. Game art in general, yeah, like this yeah, League of Legends and I think also Blizzard style. I mean there are obviously other games that look a little bit different, but this more or less very rendered and high polished kind of art. However, I do also really like art that's very brushy and very like the brush where I can't talk anymore. It's been too long. Where the brush strokes are still very visible. Um, but for me, that's really hard. Like implying details with yeah, basically just implying details without them actually being there and just showing detail with only a few brush strokes. That's really hard, and I really admire that. And I'm just not really good at it at this point, but I want to get better at it. And I actually planned this piece to be a little bit more like brushy and not as rendered. And yeah, here we are. That didn't work out. I hope I can at least make it work for the rest of the character. Like I will also render the face very very detailed, but all of that stuff I probably won't. I want to have some more visible brushwork there. Okay, so let's just do some probably honestly, what I should just be doing, because that's also, I think, one factor that really makes it a little bit easier to get a more brushy or like not going into as much unnecessary detail, is just staying zoomed out a little bit, like not doing this, right? But doing this. That's what I should have done from the beginning. But I really wanted to do the goggles in a very detailed way, just because I really enjoy that. So I guess that's my excuse in this case. And I can also, by the way, just do this, and while I'm at it, also do these thingies. Like this is also metal, and but I will add the same colors there, but I will leave this a little bit more brushy. Like not I just won't zoom in. How about that? Just do this now. Want this to be brighter. This. And really, this is probably what I should have done, because when I'm zoomed out like this, because what matters is that it looks right in this view, right? And it doesn't matter that it's like super not detailed after all. And I really have to give me a second. I'd have to catch up with the chat again. I think you should check out Save Roth Art. You will learn a lot in. Yeah, I do know him. Yeah, I think, like, to be totally honest, I think I know like every bigger art YouTuber out there. Because I've consumed so much content over the last. Let me think. I started learning this in a more serious way in at the end of 2019 or mid 2019, and since then I've binged so much content. I think I know every every bigger art YouTuber out there. Would surprise me if you find one I don't know, to be honest. And this is not supposed to be bragging, obviously, but just that's just how it is. Okay. Let's do one final. Honestly, for the rest of this piece, like except for the face, I will just start work being very zoomed out. Maybe when we might continue this in the next stream. Like I'm not totally sure yet if I want to finish this in like for myself, or if you guys want to like see the whole thing basically in a stream, just not in like only one stream, but over like maybe 2 or 3 streams in total. And yeah, maybe you can, like, if some of you want to tell me how you feel about that, like if you're interested in actually seeing this the whole process in like 2 or 3 streams, then I can do that. And yeah, Tyler Edlin is also one I know, obviously. Yeah, Tyler Edlin, and wer ist es there? I've been streaming for too long. I can't remember names anymore. But there are a lot. I'm sorry. I actually like I was like, hey, I know every art YouTuber out there. Now I can't even name a single one. That's kind of embarrassing. But I think that's honestly just me having used too much brain power, painting, sometimes explaining stuff, keeping up with the chat, and do all of that in a foreign language. So I guess that's my excuse for not being able to name some more. There's also another Marco somewhat, but I can't recall. I literally have like 2 or 3 faces in front of me right now, and I can't remember their names. Like I do know their names, obviously, but they are just out of reach for me right now. This is very bad. I know every big art YouTuber out there. I'm so smart. Hey, name one, Toads. I don't know a single one now. Damn. There's one in particular that I just can't remember right now what his name was. Maybe you guys know him, like he's always in this he's in a very like art school-ish mode and he's always joking about that stuff. Like for example, he always starts with like classes in session and I'm so sorry. What's his name again? Ah, I should do some training, but I don't remember right now. I have no idea what's going on with me. Uh, should be my goal for the end of the stream, like remembering. No, not Trent, but I know him as well. There's also like the geek artist, and there's mm, one in particular. I don't remember the name right now, and it's freaking me out. Oh wait, I just remember. You know what the cool thing is? I have a computer in front of me. I can check. Uh, where is he? He just published a video like today or yesterday. Oh, Mark Brunet, of course. Mark Brunet is the one I'm talking about. Also, funny dude. And Proco obviously is also another. Like Proco is basically all my anatomy knowledge is Proco. And Marshall Vandruff, he has done some stuff on Proco's channel. Also, they had a podcast, or I think they still do. And Marshall Vandruff has a lecture from 1997 that he held in a like art school about perspective, and that's basically all my perspective knowledge coming from there. And also super like super sympathetic, super cool dude. It's really fun to listen to him. Just super funny guy. Always cracks me up. Proko's Anatomy Master, yeah, he really is. Like it's insane. Really good draftsman. Way out of my league, but that's the fun part. You can always improve so much yourself. Mm. What am I usually doing with this kind of stuff? This look right? I look like that's right. All of this does look a little bit too green, to be honest. Like it does make sense in the lower parts of the body for it to have a very strong green bounce light, but not this far up, like not this strong. Like this is literally green. That's not how it's supposed to be. Just gonna glaze a little bit of the other color over it, and this looks better already. Also, this doesn't feel like I have to. Oh, what is your first language? German. I'm from Germany. I hope the accent doesn't sound too terrible. Like personally, I hate German accent in like English, talking English. And I hope it's not that bad. Arabia, yeah. Also nice. Yeah, it's also probably, I have no idea, if I'm honest, how your accent would be like, but it's probably interesting as well. But yeah, talking is hard, dude. You knew it also, Marty. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Where you're like, hey, this sounds like a terrible German accent. He must be German. It is? Oh, I don't know. Like, I guess it's not as bad as the accent of many Germans. Like some are just really, some it's really, really tough. Like when they are talking like this, right? And this just really sounds very terrible. And some Germans have this kind of accent because they can't pronounce the th, and also they just, just pronounce everything very, very strangely. This is probably very over exaggerated, very exaggerated, but still, like that's the kind of direction some Germans tend to lean towards. So, okay. By the way, at this point, I'm just doodling. Like this part has progressed quite far. I'm quite happy with the head and the goggles so far. Still, obviously, a lot of stuff that needs to be done, but this is going somewhere. The face doesn't really like. But that's not true. The face is going somewhere, but it's not close to where I want it to be. So, um, yeah. But we can continue this in the next stream definitely. I might think about painting on the face a little bit more on my own because I'm not sure how entertaining it is to like just watch me struggle on the face the whole time. But I'm gonna think about that. I'm not quite sure yet how I'm gonna handle that. But yeah, let's see. I don't know yet. I just phone I can really easily if I hear the voice or the new name. Oh yeah, that's true. And the name is also very German. I think I'm not really sure, but I think that's not really a name that the like maybe Netherlands. It might be a thing. Need to take a rest for another time. Yeah, that's true. And I'm not as tired as I expected to be. Like I kind of thought that or anticipated that I would be like totally like done as soon as like after 1 hour or so, and this definitely didn't happen. So that's really nice. But I'm starting to get a little tired, and also it's like it's evening for me. I don't know about you guys, but for me it's evening. Like I'm gonna go to bed after this. So this is another contributing factor. Um, okay, I'm gonna do one last thing and then I'm gonna stop for today. I'm gonna get a multiply layer. Then I'm gonna get a warm color. And then I'm gonna do like I want to get some more like contact shadows on all these parts, right? And I'm just gonna do it like this. Like, because really like the face just doesn't have enough contrast, and just adding a few shadows will already do quite a lot. And so I'm just gonna try that. Maybe not like not this much, but something like this. And right now it's also affecting like the parts of the head and all of that fun stuff, and I don't want that. But I'm just gonna erase that afterwards. That's why I'm putting it on its own layer. Because I can already tell that this will make it way better. So let's get the eraser. Oh, it's also 9:30 here. Okay, so we're in the same time zone. It's fun. Yeah, as I said, gonna erase this. I was thinking about like what time do I want to stream at, and wait. I think I'm gonna keep some of those parts in the hair actually, because like it has to be at a time where I'm awake, right? But it also has to be at a time where you guys are awake. But I was like on the weekend, it's probably not as bad. And I mean, in the end, if I were to stream at this time more often, I guess like even people like from America and stuff might actually have like finished work already or school or whatever age you're at, and I think this is like even in the week kind of a good time. But I will most likely not really stream too much during the week. But I might actually make this a weekly thing, like every Saturday or Sunday or something like that, because this has really been fun. Um, and sorry, trying to do multiple things at the same time again. And so I will probably do this again, or not probably, I will do this again. And also try to get music for the next stream. Though I actually like personally, and I don't know if this is just thing about me, but I personally actually kind of appreciated it when a stream doesn't have music, just because I can put my own playlist on. But I think most people don't see it that way, and I'm aware of that. Okay, where are we? So, and this is what this layer does. Without the layer, it has been this. Can you see how this already looks way better? Just adding some more shadows. That's what I meant. Like this really just really lacked contrast and some more ambient occlusion. Go back to sleep. 3:30, like 3:30 p.m. right? Yeah, you shouldn't go back to sleep on 3:30 on Sunday. No, wait, on Sunday? Yeah, it's Sunday for you exactly. I'm gonna do one last thing now, and that's really the last thing. I'm gonna add some of these freckles to his face because those always. Wait, no. First, I'm gonna try if I should darken this even a little bit more, and because those always give the impression of a lot of detail in the face, and that's really nice. So I'm gonna do that. Yeah. This is way better. I'm already way happier with this picture. Now I'm just gonna get a multiply layer again and glaze some warm color over this. Let's see how this works out. This is too red, I think, so I'm gonna pull it a little bit towards the yellows. Here in Germany on the same primary, makes sense. Yeah, that's true. Can you flip the canvas? Oh, you really want to make me suffer, right? Okay, let's do it. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like the eyes. There's something off with the eyes, and we have to fix that the next time. He said and opened the liquefy tool. Maybe we can do it now. Would be a nice thing to go to bed knowing the face looks decent. But I think this is actually something we can't fix with the liquefy tool. I think I just have to get back into this and paint over it because some things honestly don't look right with this tool. Okay, after, before, after, before. No, something about this is actually. I'm gonna do that the next time. For now, I'm just gonna add some freckles and then I. No, it's okay. And I mean, it's a good thing to flip the canvas. I'm always scared, dude. It's not a good idea. Like it is a good idea, but not right before I want to go to bed. Okay. really important when you do like add these kind of details to make sure that the distance between the freckles in this case is not like you're not doing stuff like this, right? Where it's like very too repetitive, because the German not the German, the human mind works like this. Like we want to have everything organized and spaced equally and stuff like that, and you really have to fight against that because it looks unnatural. I'm actually not looking at my iPad screen right now, just to make sure my mind doesn't like I don't unconsciously do that. So look, the freckles already make it look like it's a little bit more detailed, so that's nice. Okay, I'm actually, let me try this. Do some of these a little bit more saturated. Would that look right? Yeah, this is okay. Okay, I am actually kind of happy about how this turned out, though I do now notice that this is way too dark and saturated. So that's my last thing I'm gonna do for today, and I hope it's true this time. Yeah, that's better. Okay, but I could also, no, honestly, let's just, at this point, we should just end it, because I will always find another thing I could work on, and if I do it like this, then I will never get done. So I'm gonna end it right here. After this adjustment, see where this is going. You should stop. Oh no, wait. Oh no, what did I do? Oh, no. Okay. This is I only want this to be a little bit more in the right direction. Make it a little bit, look a little bit more like lips. And this as well. Okay. I mean, this is okay. I can end on this. This doesn't look terrible. It's okay. Still far from finished, like especially the face. Again, I'm gonna keep all of this way more brushy. Like this is right now, this is just sketchy, right? This is nothing, but it will look good in the end, but like not as detailed, but more a little bit more abstract brushwork, I guess, if that makes sense. And that doesn't take that long, like not as long as this kind of stuff. So that will be fine. Okay. Yeah, have a lovely night. You as well. And yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. It's been quite a long stream actually. We had 2 hours and 40 minutes almost. But it was fun, for me at least. I hope you had fun too. Thanks for being here. And yeah, maybe we can do this again and hang out a little bit. I would certainly love to do so. Okay, guys. Have a nice evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Have a good rest of your Sunday. And we're gonna see each other, or I guess talk to each other. Or I will talk to you guys soon. Okay. All right. Yeah. Have a good day. Have a good night. Thank you for being here, and goodbye.